The wall along Rampart Street, it's about 2 feet high wall with the columns and the wrought iron in the middle. Look at Rampart Street and then go look on Basin Street behind the Municipal Auditorium. The wall caving in, it's collapsing, columns are falling. No, whoever got the work, the bid on that job, they did it right in the front. And then when it was time to do the back, they were like, we're not going to go to as much trouble and expense. We're going to make more profit where the back end, when we're done, it'll all look the same. But the front, because we built it right, should remain solid for a while. The back's going to start falling apart. And that's exactly what happened. The back behind there is not built to the same standards as the front. So we see this a lot, and this jail was tens of millions of dollars, supposed to be state-of-the-art, 10 years old. And no, I'm not taking up for Sheriff Susan Hudson again. I will stress it. She should resign. She definitely shouldn't run again. She's incompetent. She's in over her head. We don't have time to learn on the fly. But I think she's right on some things, like the plumbing wasn't done right. Probably these locks on some of these doors. No excuses for 10 jail inmates escaping at all. For the third time, I think Susan Hudson should resign and not run again. But I do think some developers, some contractors, you Jefferson Parish folks should be familiar with this, the Performing Arts Center in Jefferson Parish. How many change orders took place? How many, not months of delays, how many years of delays during construction? Not a New Orleans gimmick like Six Flags. How many years till it got started? We're still waiting for a pile to be driven in the ground at Six Flags. Awarded to the developers, 3+ years ago? Now, I'm talking about construction starting and then the developer going, oh, wait, we got this. Oh, wait, we got that. Oh, wait, we got this. Oh, wait, we got that. Oh, wait, I could do this for about a minute because there was about 20-something change orders on that building. The price was like double what it was supposed to be. It took a few years extra time to finally open. So, no, you get folks that come in, and because we're New Orleans and Louisiana, I don't know, we don't have inspections. We don't follow through properly on the things that taxpayer money is being spent on. And then probably the same old suspects are winning the contracts, doing the crappy, shoddy work, living high on the hog, wearing nice suits every day, driving nice cars, living in a big house, going out and eating dinners, socializing, acting like they're successful businessmen when they're screwing over the city over and over again with shoddy work, like the wall behind Louis Armstrong Park, that's decades ago, and the plumbing at the jail that's 10 years old. I mean, the plumbing in the jail, first, it's a jail. So the plumbing should have some things in place where prisoners are sticking crap in the, pipes and toilets and trying to clog stuff up. It's a jail. And then it's a decade old. There should be no plumbing problems at all in the least bit. Crazy. Crew de Vue, yeah, you're right. Purchasing the old Frankie and Johnny furniture business. The old store, I shouldn't say business. The business has been gone a long time. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, is 30. I don't think he has any clue what Frankie and Johnny furniture is. You didn't know Al Scramuzza in Seafood City, remember?
No, I didn't.
You knew it that day.
Nah. The only old-timey furniture.
Go to YouTube.
Okay.
Pull up, just go to YouTube and on the search bar, pull up old Frankie and Johnny furniture commercial, New Orleans.
Is that the Special Man guy?
Jeez, impressive. Yeah. You just what? Because you read today's article?
No, I know about that. That's like a legendary commercial.
How do you know the Special Man?
And NOLA. See the Special Man. Go see the Special
Let him
Man.
have
Let him have it, yeah.
Wow. You've seen these spots?
Yes, I have.
Wow. I'm impressed, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx.
Yeah, it's legendary. It's been parodied.
Because you thought Buddy D was a seller of Domino's Pizza, as I recall.
Come again, old Frankie, and then what was it?
Frankie and Johnny.
Frankie and Johnny.
Furniture.
Gotcha.
Commercial. New Orleans. Let it rip. Let it rip.
Hold up. Frankie and Johnny's free chicken. Now, here we go.
Frankie and Johnny Furniture is having a sale. Right now, you can buy 3 complete rooms of furniture for only $699 with only $250 down. Just $50 down on select items will put you in a great bedroom set or living room set today with no problem. All senior citizens get a 10% discount. Bad credit or no credit, no problem. Are you on welfare or Social Security? Are you newlyweds? No problem. Come see us.
Wow, this is...
I say. This is Frankie and Johnny's, the place that lets you have it with no problem.
I'd like to buy a bedroom set.
Do you have any credit?
No, I receive Social Security and welfare.
Have you seen the special man?
Let her have it.
Wow. With no problem.
I like to buy a living room set.
Do you have any credit?
No, I filed bankruptcy.
You have to see the special man.
Let her have it.
With no problem. I say. See Frankie and Johnny, he's the credit man in town. For only $50 down, he can put you in a living room set, a bedroom set today. See the special man.
I got the $50.
Let her have it.
With no problem.
I got it with no problem.
The no problem guy with the wide eyes, he was like a later addition. I think he must have been the son of the black guy.
Gotcha.
The white guy with the perm and like the tinted glasses.
Uh-huh.
I'm in Tony Angelo's 30 years ago with a drunk, obnoxious friend of mine. He's just hammered on Budweiser beer. Probably had a dozen before we went in.
Yeah.
We're waiting at the bar to go get seated, and the white dude with the perm hair is standing at the bar. My buddy's like, dude, it's Frankie and Johnny.
Oh, nice.
And he just stumbles over there. And right away, I'm like, oh, my God. Like, it was too late for me to catch my friend and stop him. And he just goes over there and he goes, the guy's talking to a friend. And like, there's like 2 friends there. And he just goes, my friend walks in and goes, let him have it. And the guy like acknowledges my friend and laughs. And then my friend just keeps going. Let him have it. And the perm guy's like, yeah, okay. Now he's like, okay, got it. And he's not smiling so much anymore. Let him have it. Let him have it. Just, half drunk. And the 2 friends of the perm haired white guy sort of backing off. And now the white dude from Frankie and Johnny Furniture's pissed. And I'm just like, maybe I just go to my car and leave now.
Don't let him have it.
Yeah, don't let him have it. Exactly.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Roll call.
Kenner, Metairie, Harahan, River Ridge, Algiers, Gretna, Harvey, Terrytown, West Wego. We got you covered.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you on a wide open Wednesday edition of the program where you're the show producer. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. A hot one out there. 88, 89 degrees. Feels like low 90s. Boy, I am overdue. It's been about 6 months for a nice massage over at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Canal Street is where I went, the Mid-City location. They're on Canal Street. They're on West Esplanade by Transcontinental near North Kenner in Metairie. They're in Mandeville. They're in Slidell. They're in Baton Rouge. WoodhouseSpas.com. The only mistake I made, I did a 50-minute massage. I should have done an 80-minute for sure. But I am overdue. Seriously. If you've never had a massage, and I know a lot of guys never have, it is something worth doing. I mean, my shoulders are just like jammed up into my ears. Having somebody work out all those kinks, get that lactic acid flowing out, drink lots of fluid after, and you're just flushing a lot of garbage out of your system. No, after a massage, I swear, after I walk out of the Woodhouse Day Spa, after 50 minutes, 80's even better, a deep tissue massage, I could go home and go to sleep. I could go exercise. I mean, it's just like, it's like hitting the reset button on your phone or your computer, but it's doing it on you, just resetting and starting over again. The only thing I wonder, it's like, how many massages at the Woodhouse Day Spa would I need to where, it's all worked out and the massage is strictly just, nice muscle massage, and it's not so much working out the kinks and the lactic acid. Because I don't know, any, it's like stretching or using a roller. It's ridiculously painful. It's brutal in the beginning. And then the more and more you do it, the less it hurts. Same thing with a massage. I mean, I'm jammed up. So it'll be nice to get to the Woodhouse soon. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Before the McHenry Trucking Road, if you've ever been by the Port of New Orleans, which basically runs from Felicity Street all the way to the Butterfly on the riverfront in uptown New Orleans. All different kind of wharfs, the Napoleon Avenue container terminal that they want to move down to St. Bernard where life is hot, hot, hot. From the Butterfly, from like Nashville Avenue, through Jefferson, through Napoleon, through Louisiana, Washington, Jackson Avenue, all the way to Felicity, like a few miles of port facility. On the port side, the river side of that big flood wall along Tchoupitoulas. Boy, when I was a kid, Tchoupitoulas uptown was like River Road over by, in the Carrollton neighborhood, going towards the Jefferson Parish line. From like Magazine to the Jefferson Parish line, how crappy River Road is. That was Tchoupitoulas all the way. It was like that the whole way. And then, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 years ago, literally, they redid the Tchoupitoulas today, and they did it so well with the right concrete and laid down right and foundation. It's in pretty damn good shape today. One lane in each direction right next to the flood wall. On the other side of the flood wall, there's the McHenry trucking road, which is like 4 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction from Felicity all the way to Nashville. All the way to the Butterfly, basically, past Nashville. Before that McHenry trucking road. So, like right now, trucks exit off the Pontchartrain Expressway at that North Peters exit, Tchoupitoulas, North Peters, and they get on right there, right around Calliope. That's why there's that traffic light can be kind of a screwed up situation. Lots of traffic, lots of 18-wheelers, hard to get through. These 18-wheelers, that's how they enter the port. They exit right there. They go down, I guess that's Tchoupitoulas in one direction, and I forget the street in the other direction. It's 2 lanes in each direction. That was a great thing they did in New Orleans, where they split up those roads and made them one way each instead of both being, 2-way streets. And they basically go right to Felicity Street. And then trucks, not the general public, can enter at Felicity and enter the port and traverse all the way down to the Butterfly on that McHenry trucking road. Before access at Felicity and before the McHenry trucking road, how did 18-wheelers access the port of New Orleans? How did 18-wheelers access the port of New Orleans before the McHenry trucking road? If you got the answer, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, who was the voodoo queen of New Orleans? The voodoo queen of New Orleans. Who was the voodoo queen of New Orleans? 766-9480. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse. Latin X, a.k.a. Mario, bro. He's going to like this one. He's going to like this question. The only stadium outside North America designed specifically for NFL games.
Outside of North America?
I know you don't answer it. It's a trivia question, by golly.
I'm just trying to understand the question.
Yes,
You said
yes.
outside? Okay.
The only question outside of North America designed specifically for NFL games. There's only one stadium in the world. The only hint I'll give is, to use some deductive reasoning, probably the number one spot outside of North America for an NFL expansion team because of this NFL-ready stadium. Name that stadium. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The world's first movie theater. The world's first movie theater. Mario Brothers said the Palace in Elmwood. That is incorrect, dude. The Palace in Elmwood was not the world's first movie theater.
I would have said the original one in Kenner. There's a new one now, but there was an old one in Kenner.
That was the world's first movie theater in Kenner, brah?
To me, it may as well have been, yeah.
All right. So you may be Mario Brothers, a Kenner native. Kenner's America's city. I don't know if you knew that, Mario.
Yes,
B.
sir. There's signs to prove it.
Yep, there's signs to prove it. Now, the best sign I've ever seen is the little brick columns with the little welcome to Kenner.
Yeah.
And then on the brick column on the right, they just hung a big bra strap over it. So it's like, welcome to Kenner, brah.
Uh-huh. And I told you before, they started recently throwing those in the parades, like during Mardi Gras.
Kenner bras?
Yeah, actual bras, yes.
That say Kenner bra?
Yes.
It is a Kenner bra. Would a woman who lives in Kenner, and if she's wearing a bra, would she be wearing a Kenner bra?
Technically, yes. Technically speaking.
That's Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X. You can catch him on a radio station near you. Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a crazy show. It's called Mario's. Well, 7 straight hours. The dude doesn't sleep. Today, the whole show was a big drunken mess. We've been pumping him full of coffee the last 2 hours just so he could produce this program. How you holding up over there, Mario Bros?
Okay, man. I'm trying to make it through.
Focus. Latin X. Fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. 766-9480. Before the McHenry Trucking Road at Felicity, how did trucks access the Port of New Orleans in the olden days? 766-9480. Who was the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans? 766-9480. The only stadium outside of North America specifically designed for NFL games. 766-9480. World's first movie theater. Theater. 766-9480. 766-9480. Day 20 of the jailbreak. Antoine Massey, Derek Groves still at large. Antoine Massey might be in New Orleans. That video was shot in New Orleans. An 18-wheeler. Boy, if you were anywhere like in between Bonneville and Causeway today, you probably wanted to avoid that area earlier. Right around, I guess it's LeBar and Clifford Drive. There's a U-turn over, the West Esplanade Canal. And an 18-wheeler was attempting to go through one of those U-turns, I guess just hit the, what would you call it? The, what's the key point of the curve? Not the axis point. I can't remember the term, but the optimum point of hitting that curve. The 18-wheeler must have not, and was top heavy and ended up flipping into the canal. Not the cab was just sort of jacked up, but the back part was in the canal right by Clifford and LeBar off West Esplanade, one of those U-turn lanes. Not cool. Corey Johnson with you. Let's head to Kenner Bra. Diane joins us in Kenner Bra.
Hey, Corey.
Hey, Diane.
I'm going to say that Marie Laveau is the answer to the trivia question.
Are you wearing a Kenner Bra?
Yeah, I'm wearing a Kenner Bra.
Yeah, you're right. Who was the Voodoo Queen of New Orleans? You're saying Marie Laveau?
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Hang on, Diane. Excellent work. You're going to the Woodhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane. You got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, It all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. It's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Not a politician or part of a political machine. Corey Johnson.
I propose that I use what's left of the town treasury to move to a more prosperous town and run for mayor.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM.
Diane in Kennebra, I just picked up 50 big bucks to the Woodhouse. You can too. 766-9480. Before the McHenry Trucking Road, how did 18-wheelers access the Port of New Orleans? 766-9480. The only stadium outside of North America specifically designed for NFL games. 766-9480. World's first movie theater. 766-9480. You know the answer to any of these questions? You can pick up 50 big bucks, a gift certificate. Good at the city's premier day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa. I am so overdue. I'm going to get 80 minutes deep tissue massage. I got to get that lined up. That is just such a nice thing. You walk out of there like, yeah, ready to take on the world. I'm reset. I don't know how Antoine Massey and Derek Groves are still at large because there's like 200 plus law enforcement. All they do is try to catch these guys. They're focused on these guys. And these guys that the video, the social media posts leaving trails. So they've got to be like right on them, right on their tail. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record the last 24, 36 hours. I'd say Antoine Massey, Derek Groves, any moment now are going to be caught. especially Massey posting the video. I mean, they're at the house where he posted it like 12, 18, 24 hours later. They're interviewing people. I'm sure some were arrested. I don't know the details yet. Haven't seen anything that's been reported about arrests or questioning. I'm just assuming they didn't go to the house and it was just empty. So I think they're right on Antoine Massey and Derek Groves. We'll see. We'll see. 8 of 10 obviously caught, but these two cats have been hanging on like an extra week or 10 days or so since the others have all been rounded up. There's a bounty. That's what Governor Jeff Landry said, like a bounty, like wanted dead or alive. Like you can shoot him and bring him in on horseback. You know, it's just like, wow. I don't really think it's called a bounty, but yeah, there's a reward. It's not a bounty. There's a reward for Antoine Massey and Derek Groves. Wow. No, you shoot Antoine Massey or Derek Groves, you probably go to jail. Taking the law into your own hands. Unless they were threatening your life, but if you just happen to see them sitting there, especially if they're like unarmed, and it's definitely Antoine Massey, Derek Groves, you just decided to walk up and shoot and kill them, no, you would go to jail for murder. So don't get any stupid ideas about bounty. Wow. Hey, they'll be opening their doors for dinner in 20 minutes. Trey Yen in Mandeville. That means if you're about to get on the causeway, they'll take your order a few minutes before 5 o'clock. And then you roll right into the front. They've got that little kind of U driveway right in front. You pull right under the little roof cover deal there. They walk the order right out to your car. To-go orders from Trey Yen with curbside delivery. Don't forget the Tong Cho sauce. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. It's Trey Yen in Mandeville. So damn good. No, I was talking to a friend of mine just yesterday, texting her. You know, Chinese food in New Orleans on the East Bank. I don't know where there's really good Chinese food on the East Bank. You know how I feel about 5 happiness, 5 crappiness. Mario Brothers just went, damn.
That's good. Not gonna lie.
No, 5 crappiness. The same folks bought Shogun.
Since we're having a conversation, yeah, I think
they both have gone downhill. Shogun on Vets and 5 crappiness. I told the guy, the owner at Shogun, I was like, I think this is my last time in here. The owner's like, oh, well. I go, because I've had a conversation with like 3 or 4 times before this. Every time I have a conversation with him, he does not remember the previous conversation. This dude's just focused in his own world. And so I finally just said, after him, like, hi, like not recognizing me for like the 5th time after I've been in Shogun, like every month with the same dude every time. Yeah. And he's a kind of big guy too. So hard to miss us.
Yeah, distinctive.
Sitting on the end of the hibachi every time, seeing this guy, complaining to him every time. So finally I just said, hey man, if you guys would focus on the food first, the money will come. But focusing on the money first, the food's starting to really not be so good. Both here and at 5 Happiness. And he just nodded his head and smiled at me and kind of giggled like I told him it was one of the best meals I ever had. Anyway, so no, I can't find good Chinese. I go all the way to Mandeville. Very happy with Trey Yen, but I wish there was something more convenient. This friend of mine lives on the West Bank. So I'm like, where's the good Chinese? So, no, going to scoop her up and go get some good Chinese on the Best Bank. I mentioned, like, I think 9 Roses, I want to say, is half Chinese, half Vietnamese, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's China Doll. And what did she mention that was pretty good? What was the other one she mentioned? 9 Roses, China. Wow. I thought there were 3. I don't know. Anyone who's on the West Bank. Yeah. 9 Roses, China Doll, and
while you're looking, I can say
Empress of China. She said was pretty good.
Panda King in the West Bank. I love.
Wait. Is Panda King like the drive-through restaurant?
No, it's a buffet. It's a Chinese buffet.
Oh, all right. Where Mario Brothers, I'm a food snob, dude, so you can't get offended by what I tell you. You know, you just have to be like, dude, I like what I like, and screw Corey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to a Chinese buffet.
Fair.
No shot.
Fair.
Never. And when you said Panda King, I thought you were talking about like the drive-through place with the panda. What's that?
No, Panda Express. Yeah. I could see how you get that confused.
Yep.
Yeah.
Panda Express.
Panda King. There was one in Kenner. Now there's one in the West Bank. But I don't mind going to the West Bank.
Yeah. No, I'm not. There are 41,000 plus Chinese restaurants in America.
Yes.
41,000. And I would say 40,900 of them suck.
Dang.
Yep. No, most in New Orleans are terrible, but most anything in anywhere is not good. I mean, most Italian places claim to be Italian. New Orleans probably aren't that good. You know what I mean?
No,
most places that have a pizza or something in New Orleans, it's not a good pizza.
Yeah.
I see people walking out of the racetrack with pizza. Buy one slice, get the second one for $1. I'm like, give me 2 slices and $20, and I'm not eating these pieces of pizza. Wait, I have to eat the 2 slices of pizza, and I'm hungry, and you give me $20? No, thank you. That looks like the single worst pizza on the history of planet Earth at the racetrack. It's dough with some kind of cheese and toppings. It can't be good, Mario Brothers. You're looking at me like you have experienced this pizza. You're 30 years old. I think you have.
I'm with you.
You've never had it?
Not from racetrack.
Wow. Have you ever had a hot dog from like an Exxon?
Yeah, like on road trips, but I didn't like it. I wouldn't do it again.
How about nachos from an Exxon?
No.
Yeah.
I have not heated up the little pouch, no.
Yeah. Wow. I told you, kind of food snobby.
No, that's fair.
Anyway, looking for good Chinese. So, no, it's hard to find on the East Bank, especially. There's probably better Chinese on the West Bank of New Orleans than the East Bank. 766-9480. Someone give me a holla. No, there was this place. What was it? God, not Green Giant. Something Giant. Some Chinese place, something Giant. And I was like, yeah, giant waste of time. I went there. I was just like, not impressed. They closed, by the way. 5 Crappiness will be closing in about 5 years. 3 years. Awful. I went there. It was always just sort of pretty good. You know, it wasn't like the best, but it was convenient. They delivered, you know. Probably was going there for 30 years. Just, you lost a customer who'd been coming to you for 30 years. It's every year, probably spent a few grand at that place. Literally. Yeah, every year. Over the 20 or 30 years I've been going there, might have spent north of $100,000 myself. Literally, that customer's gone. And a bunch of others, I guarantee you. I am picky Penelope. I'm not going to say I'm not. I'm a high maintenance pain in the rear end when it comes to food. I want it my way, and I want it now, and that's how I want it, especially if I'm paying a premium price for it, you know? So, but I don't think I'm the only one. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Wide Open Wednesday. A hot one out there. 766-9480. 766-9480. Sheriff Susan Hudson says the jail needs about $900,000 in plumbing. Now, look, all the mayor does, the sheriff does, it's easy to get those two confused. Incompetence, the number one thing that stands out, if not corruption. No, the thing about Susan Hudson is, always crying wolf, the boy who cried wolf, essentially. So no one's listening. But I think there's some truth to what she's saying. I think whoever built the jail 10 years ago, that contractor, or whatever plumber they subbed it out to, some plumber did some very shoddy work and figured they could get away with it. We see this a lot in New Orleans. I mentioned the wall in the front of Armstrong Park. Look at the very same wall in the back of Armstrong Park, falling down and crumbling. They built it right in the front, and then when they built the side and the back, they said, we're not going to put as much into it. We're not going to put as much into it, and we're going to make more money. And it's falling apart in the back, and it's solid as a rock up front because they did it right. Now, obviously, the plumbing in the jail, not done right 10 years ago.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Prepared with experience, depth, knowledge, and a history in the game. Corey Johnson.
Years later, a doctor will tell me that I have an IQ of 48.
I am the smartest man alive! Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. You're the show producer. Whatever you'd like to discuss, 766-9480. I'm not hitting every topic every day. There's something I might miss. There's something that could just be obvious, and I missed it. There could be something that's not so obviously obvious, but you think it's important, and we should be discussing it. You're the show producer. All you have to do is dial us up, 766-9480. 9480 and throw that topic out there. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. I do have some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latin X, fielding your phone calls at 766-9480. Before the McHenry Trucking Road, how did 18-wheelers access the Port of New Orleans? Right now, they get off the Pontchartrain Expressway at North Peters, Tchoupitoulas. They go down Tchoupitoulas to Felicity and enter the Port of New Orleans. They exit at Felicity and enter at Calliope and get on the Pontchartrain Expressway. That's how they access the port now from the interstate. How did they access the port before the McHenry Trucking Road and that Felicity Street entrance? How did 18-wheelers enter the port before? 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. I remember the old way. I was, much younger. When I was a kid, I remember it very distinctly. And I guess in like my teens, it sort of went away. But, a lot of folks were complaining about the 18-wheelers in this particular neighborhood. Folks were complaining about oak trees getting hit by 18-wheelers. Folks were complaining about old historic houses, walls cracking with heavy 18-wheelers going down this street. And there was one way in. It wasn't like you could pick and choose. 18-wheelers could go anywhere. One specific way in to the Port of New Orleans, one specific way out before the present day entrance and exit at Felicity. 766-9480. The only stadium outside of North America designed specifically for NFL games. 766-9480. The world's first movie theater. 766-9480. You got the answer to any of these questions? I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spas. Hey, no intranet device, no cheating, no Yahoo, Google, DuckDuckGo, none of that. You better know the answer because we'll figure you out. Mario Brothers and I are experts at deviant behavior because after the program, we're in the quarter all night drunk, picking up on crazy people and doing crazy stuff. Actually, none of that's true, and we're not experts on deviant behavior, but we might know if you're kind of lying or not. Huh, Mario? Yeah. I don't need someone reading the wiki page. I can do that myself. No. I want my grandmother worked there, and I remember that because I lived on that. I used to work at that place. I lived that. I did that. I want that. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing, not reading the wiki page. I can do that myself. Old wiki. Day 20 of the jailbreak. Those two criminals, Antoine Massey, Derek Grove, still at large. LSU study, Super Bowl 59, twice the economic impact of the 2013 Super Bowl in New Orleans. Now, I know it's a dozen years later, but still double the impact, $1.25 billion. I think the number 2 economic impact in Super Bowl history. I'm just wondering where number 1 was. Let's head back to the phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. We're heading to Metairie, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic, lots and lots of traffic. I was in Metairie earlier today. What's up, Mark?
Hey, how you doing, Corey?
Good, man. What's happening in Metairie, Louisiana?
Yeah, you was talking about that tractor trailer by that bridge.
Yep.
Yeah, I seen that myself. I was like, why did that dude even try that?
Well, he was hooking a U-turn on West Esplanade right before Causeway, right?
I don't know. It looked like it, but you can't get no 18-wheeler around a U-turn.
I think you can if you hit the turn right, but if you hit it slightly wrong, and that back you can't have the back wheels of the trailer hop the curb on a U-turn on a canal. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to get that thing out of there, but that's a mess.
Well, I saw they had a huge truck, like much hardier than even an 18-wheeler. And basically, Mark, it's a big crane, And I think they put the little, extenders out to make it even more stable. And they're literally picking up the back of the cab. When they do that, when they pick up I don't know if they had to unload all the cargo out of it or not. But once they pick that up, the cab of the truck will just land back on the ground. It was sort of just propped up and still on the road. It was the back part, the trailer part that was in the canal.
Yeah, and it looked like he had a pretty good load on it too.
Yeah, it wasn't like a box truck. I want to say it was like things on pallets strapped down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was a flatbed trailer.
Yeah. So, lucky it's all still on board, and they hopefully can just pull it on out. I'm sure they've done it by now. That was a few hours ago.
Yeah. Wanted to ask the question about the truckers used to go down Napoleon Boulevard to get to the port.
Napoleon Boulevard, which would be Napoleon Avenue?
Yeah.
Mark, that is incorrect.
Yeah, you wrong.
Good guess, Mark, but incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for calling. You have a good one too, Mark. Thanks for participating. Mark was warm, but not hot. 766-9480. Blue Boy's shouting out the answer. Blue Boy, that's right. I guess some people that can understand you are going to get a little tip for the 5 o'clock powwow with that information. You're right, Blue Boy. 5 o'clock powwow on a wide open Wednesday coming your way right now.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. This isn't a sports talk program. I'm not going to get bogged down in all that. I used to do sports talk. Tomorrow night, the NBA Finals start, a 7-game series. The NBA playoffs started like April 20th or something. You know, we're in June. The NBA playoffs are the best playoffs in sports anywhere. It's like 2 months long. It's crazy.
Yep, it's been a good playoff.
Plus, it's 16 teams. There used to be 23 teams, and 16 went. So like only 7 didn't go. Now there are 30 NBA teams and 16 go. So it's more like 50%, you know, little better, one better than 50%.
And that's not counting the play-in, because remember you have
you're right. Yeah, you got that's 20 teams.
Yeah, it's 20 that technically made the post.
Yeah, no, you're right. Then it goes down to 16. That's true. It's like the 64. Mm-hmm. It's really 66 or 68 or however many now it is.
Too much.
Yeah, good point. So it really is 20 of the 30. Better than 16 of 23. That was obnoxious.
It's all just for money in the end, just like college football playoff expanding. More games.
But you can as like a kind of not a fanatic, just sort of a, lukewarm fan, you can just check in playoff time.
Yeah.
Like you can kind of ignore the NBA and just I'm just saying hi, I'm Mr. Lukewarm fan. I watch NHL hockey and NBA in mostly May and June, something like that. You have like a great 8 weeks of NHL action and NBA action for 8 weeks stacked on top of each other. I think the NHL finals is tonight, game 1, and tomorrow's NBA game 1. Crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people do that. I mean, basketball is a sport that the regular season matters the least out of all of them. So the playoffs, people tune in more.
What I never understood, this just seems so obvious to me. College baseball, they should start the season a couple of weeks later, and that benefits the northern teams too.
Yep.
Gets more teams into it from the north and the cold weather places. But you end it in Omaha on the 4th of July. What the hell?
Yeah.
What else is around 4th of July? I guess, was it U.S. Open tennis?
Yeah.
That'll be finished. I mean, college baseball, U.S. Open tennis kind of landing on top of each other. You can, I don't know, work around it. I don't know what you do, but 2 extra weeks is all you need to do to move it 2 weeks, the college baseball season, and it could fall like at the 4th of July in Omaha.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Would be.
Anyway, I told you it wasn't a sports talk program. Although on Fridays with Fletch, but we talk a lot of stuff like po' boys and if you had a good meal. And every Monday, Martell Monday with Brett Martell. Interesting story. I'll talk to Fletch about it. I broke the story about LIV Golf potentially coming to New Orleans during the Super Bowl like they did for the Las Vegas Super Bowl last year. That never materialized, but Greg Norman and LIV Golf people did come to New Orleans. They checked out the City Park South course. They checked out English Turn on the West Bank. Fletcher and Travers Mackle were on top of that story as well. They broke the latest story about LIV Golf and the state of Louisiana. They're trying to put about $7 million together out of the state budget. $2+ million to put into the City Park South golf course to tweak it out, make it better, make it nicer. It's already nice. And $5 million to the Saudis to bring an LIV tournament stop in New Orleans in either June, like a year from now, June of 2026, or next July. In the next 12 or 13 months, there potentially could be a LIV New Orleans tour stop at City Park South, an enhanced City Park South, which I'm all for. All for that. And if the Zurich Classic, if the Four Kids Foundation, they don't have a problem with it, I have no problem with it. The pie's only so big. The pie's only so big. If they're not taking any of the pie away from Zurich and the Four Kids and the charities and all that, I got no problem with it. So if Four Kids are, thumbs up. Now, I'll tell you a story. Because old John Ilario on the West Bank doesn't have a lot of skins on the wall. He's got more crime, corruption, BS, nonsense, deviant behavior than any accomplishments as a public official. But it was kind of a Mike Ditka ready, fire, aim type of approach. But maybe one of the only good things John Ilario did, and it ended up not being a good thing. Ended up being nixed. But I have, information from a few very reliable sources, like I know this is true, that John Ilario was spearheading this. This is about a decade ago, to get a senior PGA Tour event to New Orleans, a senior PGA Tour event. And he wanted to have it at City Park South, so the TPC PGA Zurich Classic would never get moved there. Like, it was twofold, like bring some economic stuff to the city and keep the TPC as the PGA Tour stop. So he wanted to bring a senior PGA event to New Orleans. Had it pretty much lined up. The PGA was into it. Oxner supposedly was the title sponsor of the event. And then the Four Kids Foundation found out and was like, guys, the pie's only so big. The dollar we get, all you're going to be doing is taking 35 cents of the dollar, and we're only going to get 65 cents. And the kids are going to not get the money that we give them. So, and that kind of nixed that deal. Now, if the Four Kids Foundation was running that senior PGA Tour event, it probably could have worked because they'd be controlling both entities. They could expand the pie. But competing against a senior event, not that they wouldn't win and get the most of the pie, but there'd still be some of the pie disappearing. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. A hot one out there, 88 degrees, feels like low 90s. Day 20, jailbreak, 2 still at large. Antoine Massey, Derek Grove still at large. LSU study says Super Bowl 59 brought $1.25 billion into the city. The local economy, $1.25 billion, second most lucrative Super Bowl of all time. Twice the economic impact, more than twice the economic impact of the last Super Bowl in New Orleans back in 2013. Mark and Metairie called talking about that 18-wheeler trying to make a U-turn on West Esplanade right before Causeway by LeBar, by Clifford Drive, right before the Esplanade Canal widens as it goes towards Causeway. 18-wheeler, I guess the back tires hopped the curb and the entire trailer fell into the canal and it jacked up the 18-wheeler. I mean, the driver of the 18-wheeler must have like pooped in his pants. I mean, he's sitting at, staring straight ahead. Then all of a sudden he just gets jacked into the air. Probably if he had to get out of the cab of the truck, he probably had to jump down about 6-8 feet. Then I saw some photos of a huge truck with a crane hooked to the back of the truck, pulling the trailer part of the truck back up, and then the 18-wheeler would land on the ground. I guess they disconnect it and separate the two. But I'm assuming by now that that's cleared. That was hours ago. Sheriff Susan Hudson, and you can't take her word on anything. She's like the boy who cried wolf. I mean, she talks, no one's listening. She says the jail needs about $900,000 to fix the plumbing problem. Now, from what I'm hearing, a lot of that is true. Like, this is a sin. This is kind of typical New Orleans. I used an example last hour of Armstrong Park. The brick wall in the front, the 2-foot-high header with the columns and the wrought iron in the middle surrounding Armstrong Park. Look at the wall in the front. It's perfect. Then look at the wall on the back, like Basin Street side, the back end, Treme side. It's falling down. It's all messed up. The builders of that wall, they did it right in the front, and then when they got around to the side, they're like, guys, we're going to cut costs. We're not going to go all out. We're not going to make it and spend as much money. We're going to increase our profits by not doing the backside as nice as the front, and it's falling apart. Whoever built the jail, these people are responsible. The folks they subbed it out to, the plumbers, they're responsible. It's 10 years in, and the plumbing shot, from what I understand, never was right in the beginning. No, that's someone getting that contract for $1 worth of plumbing, and they're only doing 50 cents, and they're keeping more profit and screwing over us, the taxpayers. No, Susan Hudson is not the person to listen to when it comes to what the jail needs, and she's the sheriff. Isn't that ironic? Because she's the boy who cried wolf. Nothing she says can be believed. But this apparently is true. Apparently is true. Not that the council of the city's going to listen to her. They're going to do their own, investigation audit into it. They'll be like, yeah, to fix the plumbing is going to be $1 million. If you can't get it from the contractor, the sub that did it originally, because it's too long ago, don't let them have any future contracts with the city, right? Because they do shoddy work, right? Do an investigation, do an audit, figure out why the plumbing in the jail sucks. Corey Johnson with you, Wide Open Wednesday. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Holla.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, It all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Helm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less. The next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. You gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City. Changing talk radio in New Orleans for the better. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground. Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
We're on the radio and on YouTube till 6 o'clock. Television, like the man said, till 5:30. If you're watching on Cox Channel 4 or Spectrum Channel 333. In 2025, there's a pretty good chance your TV is a smart TV. Like, you can get YouTube on your TV at home, the big screen. We're on YouTube every afternoon. Check out our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It doesn't cost a dime, doesn't cost a thing. And yeah, you Cox Channel 4 subscribers, Spectrum Channel 333 subscribers, chances are you have a smart TV and you can check us out till 6 o'clock on YouTube. My neighbor across the street just painted his house, him and her. I don't know if they went to Helm Paint and Decorating like I suggested. I told them about Benjamin Moore paint, the highest quality paint in the world, because paint ain't paint. Benjamin Moore covers more square feet per gallon than the competitors, and that's a fact. And Benjamin Moore, the inventors of color paint. And Benjamin Moore, lifetime guarantee, like on Aura and Regal Select. I painted my house with Regal Select. I'll never, ever have to paint my house again. But because Benjamin Moore and Helm Paint and Decorating is affordable, if I want to change the color in a few years, I can. Helm Paint and Decorating, when you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating, because paint ain't paint. Benjamin Moore, best paint in the world. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating in New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Free 2-hour delivery, free color matching, the best at color matching. Bring them a sample of something you want copied. They're going to get that color exactly right. Helm Paint and Decorating. Day 20, jailbreak. Day 20, going on 3 weeks. About halfway through this thing, a week, 10 days in, they got 8 of the 10. 2 still at large, Antoine Massey, Derek Groves, like household names. It is inevitable they will be caught. I sit here and do my show, and I'm sitting here saying they're at large, and during the next break, I might go and see a headline where they've been caught. I think the 200-plus law enforcement are busting their tails every day to catch these lunatics, and they're very close. Antoine Massey, I don't think it helped him doing the social media post. It certainly didn't help him where there's, a lot of people are out to help. They want to, give the guy, some help and get a lawyer for him. And hopefully he can beat the rap. There's none of that. But there's lots of clues left for police to go. They raided the house where the video was shot, on and on and on. So they're right on these guys' tail. Right on these guys' tail. I think there's some problem on the North Shore, maybe with a gay pride parade this weekend in Mandeville. It's more than gay pride. It's everybody that's, kind of downtrodden that needs, help. I don't get, and I'm an Arab. I'm an Arab, okay? I'm 50% Syrian Lebanese. My mom is 100%. Her mother and father were 100% Syrian Lebanese, Syrian mostly. So I am an Arab, 50%. I don't understand the LGBTQ community pro-Palestine. Like, why are you getting even involved in that? You can say, hey, we're against Israel decimating Gaza, no matter who the people are. But I'm pro-Palestinian. But if I were gay, I'd be pro-Palestinian, but I would be weary of especially folks that take the, Muslim religion to an extreme level. They are very homophobic and anti-gay in the Arab world today. I mean, women don't have equal rights in most of those Middle Eastern countries. In Saudi Arabia, how advanced that society is, I want to say in 2018, they gave women the right to drive. In 2018, 2018, 7 years ago in Saudi Arabia, they allowed women to drive vehicles. So no, the homosexual society there is not embraced in the least bit. In some of those Arab countries, you get executed for being a homosexual, literally killed. At the very least, you're going to very harsh prison conditions. So I don't know. I don't want to come up with examples. It's not like Jews, hoisting a Nazi flag. That's not a good comparison. Seen all kind of folks with their analogies and comparisons. But I do find it odd that, the LGBTQ community, like fighting for Palestine, I think most, like Hamas, you're not for Hamas, right? You're just for the Palestinian people like me. Should be a 2-state, solution. It's like New Orleans, and New Orleanians get along great. But it'd be like blacks leaving New Orleans or whites leaving New Orleans. Neither group's leaving. Now, some people may decide to move and have a right to move, but as a whole, neither group's leaving. All the whites are leaving New Orleans. They're going back to Shreveport. All the blacks are leaving New Orleans. They're going to Jackson, Mississippi. I mean, it's not happening. So the Palestinians and the Jews aren't leaving Israel and Palestine. They're not leaving that area. They've been there for 6,000 years. You want to know what's pathetically sad, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx? The number one group of people connected to Jews by DNA, the number one group of people connected to Palestinians by DNA. Palestinians, Jews, Palestinians. They're like friggin' brothers. They're the most closely related to each other. By DNA, who's the closest group to Palestinians? Israeli Jews. To Israeli Jews, the closest group by DNA, by science, Palestinians. Literally, they are like brothers. It's crazy. I'm not going to say it's Northern Ireland and Ireland, but it's close. It's crazy. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. No, I'm Arab. I like my heritage. I think you look at the Middle East, like the Arab Emirates and Abu Dhabi and just these different cities that they've taken, like New York skyline used to be the world leading skyline, you could say. And I still love New York skyline. So many new buildings popping up. It continues to be, a world leader. But boy, there's some modern skylines around the world now, in Asia, in the Middle East, that are mind-numbing. In China, lots of buildings, billions and billions and billions of investment. 20, 30 years ago, it was a desert, and now it's like a CBD. Just unlimited funds, lots of money. No, I'm pro-Middle East. The more westernized they become, the better they become. But women don't have equal rights, and homosexuals don't at all. So pro-Palestine, no doubt. Pro-Hamas, that would be just crazy. Crazy. Wednesday afternoon edition of the program. It's a wide open Wednesday. Corey Johnson with you. 766-9480. Oh, wow. I've got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. Before the McHenry Trucking Road, how did 18-wheelers access the Port of New Orleans? It was, who was that? Mark in Metairie, I think, who said Napoleon Avenue. Mark was warm. Something like that. 766-9480. The only stadium outside of North America designed specifically for NFL games. Don't give the answer, but do you know it, Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx?
Honestly, no. I feel like I should.
Yeah, you should. 766-9480. You're a sports fan.
Yeah.
766-9480.
I have a guess, but no.
The world's first movie theater. Corey. The world's first movie theater. 766-9480. 766-9480. Where did I get my glasses I'm wearing? Art and Eyes. I just picked up a pair of like LBJ-like glasses. You know LBJ? Channel 26 has got kind of that tinted frame. I'm going to wear those for you, Mario Brothers. You can still see my eyes. They're like just barely like kind of a orangey rose-colored compared to clear, but totally can see my eyes. I think it's sort of a style glare type of thing, which might help with the studio lights. I'm always keeping my vision down because up here I'll get that, sunspot in my eyes with the lights. So anyway, I'm going to wear my LBJ glasses from Art and Eyes. Those frames were from a designer called Jacques-Marie Mage, handcrafted in Japan, just super, super high quality. And what I love about them, too, it's like I have like frame 111 of 275. Like all they made in the world were 275 of these, and I've got one of them. I've got the one of 275, not one of 275,000. Now, if you're wearing glasses where you see other people wearing your same frames all the time, it's time to get to Art and Eyes. I wear as unique as you, highest quality frames in the world. This place is special. And I'm not just saying that. Art and Eyes, when you go in there, you think you're in like New York or Paris or San Francisco. Super high-end eyewear. All different price points. And like I always say, the best thing about them, name brands you've never, ever heard of. But when you see, touch, feel, put them on, you'll be like, boy, Corey's right. Super high-quality eyewear. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. You need a great pair of sunglasses or you wear prescription glasses like me. Don't go to the mall. Don't go to some chain store. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Mario Brothers, a.k.a. Latinx, fielding your phone calls. 766-9480. Wide open Wednesday. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Does Helm Paint have the best paint on the planet? Helm, yeah. We only sell Benjamin Moore, the world's finest paint. Because paint ain't paint. Let us steer you right. Helm Paint.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
As New Orleans as coffee in the morning and as New Orleans as coffee in the morning and raw oysters for lunch. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
I don't drink coffee or eat raw oysters. I must be from Idaho. 766-9480 is the phone number, 766-9480. I've really never had coffee. Tried it like as a kid and didn't gravitate towards it. All my brothers and sisters like coffee.
Yeah.
Old school New Orleans, we used to, coffee, hot milk, and then dunk the bread, the French bread in the coffee and the milk. All my brothers and sisters, my mom, grandparents did that. My dad drank his coffee black. I was the only one. I was the black sheep, no coffee.
Wow.
Yep. Well, I figure, I give $3, $6, $8 away to different entities all the time. Might be that dopey black bag of smart food that's really dumb food, that popcorn, that white cheddar popcorn, that crack cocaine of popcorn.
Yeah.
Might be that. Might be Smoothie King. I'm over there on Jefferson Highway all the time at Smoothie King. Tip the girls over there a few bucks. So that's, my mom added up her coffee. My mom goes to like Chateau Coffee over there by, the lakefront area, like every day almost.
Mm-hmm.
She added up like her year bill, like in her head.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom, don't do that. That just makes you mad.
Yeah, no, not a good
But
idea.
no, you got the $8 coffee at, Starbucks 6 times a week.
Mhm.
That's, $40 a week. It's 80. It's, $160 a month.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
not
like $2,000 a year.
It's not even a budget thing. I just don't like if I can get free coffee at work or at my house or something. I don't need to go to coffee shop.
You don't care what the coffee's like.
Not really.
You're real easy to please, Mario Brothers.
Pretty much. I mean, I'll put some creamers and some sugar.
Yeah, no, I'm imagining if I drank coffee, I'd be buying like some badass Italian or some Colombian brand that's like $30-$40 a pound, literally.
Yeah.
And I'd have some little espresso machine and, be making some badass coffee or something that's ridiculously pricey. And I would just be, in over my head.
Exactly.
Yep. That's why I don't have a 911 Porsche. I want one, but when you can't afford the oil change or the tires, you don't buy a 911 Porsche.
Yeah. Good call.
Tires are $800-$900 a crack. Oil change like $500-$700. You can't afford that. I'm not getting. So that's why I don't have a 911. Coffee, yeah, I can afford coffee, but I'd be drinking the expensive stuff. I promise you. Doing the opposite of you. I don't care that it's free. I want the expensive stuff.
Fair.
Oh boy.
I mean, the whole point is to get caffeinated. So as long as it gets caffeinated.
And then my mom, will say, "That's great, Corey, especially since you can't rub 2 nickels together. Like, what are you doing drinking the expensive coffee when you can't rub 2 nickels together?" Meaning you don't have any cash.
Yes.
You get that one, huh?
Uh-huh.
Another favorite expression of her, we'll go eat somewhere and she'll like see the bill. My brother and I are trying to like hide it. She'll see it. And she's like, I have to float a bond. Like if she was paying, I'd have to float a bond. You don't get that reference?
Nah.
It's like municipalities and cities will float a bond to build like a bridge or,
I see what you're saying.
so she's just like, almost like, I have to float a bond. I have to go to a bank and get a loan to pay this lunch tab. Anyway, those are old school jokes, Mario Brothers. My mom is 94 years old. She still drives.
Nice.
We got her license renewed. I went with her about 2 months ago. Her license expires when she's 100.
Wow.
When she's 100. It's a 6-year license.
So she had to wait till she was 95 to be able to drive in Saudi Arabia? Or no, my math is wrong.
In 2018? Yeah, she would have
like
had to wait
93.
till like she was about 87 years old. She would have been able to get her first driver's license in Saudi Arabia at 87. Yep. 89.
That's a crazy stat. I didn't know that.
88, 87 or 88. Isn't that unreal?
Yeah.
2018.
Like,
Saudi Arabia finally allowed women to drive.
I know they don't have rights, but that's crazy. Like 2017, if you were driving as a woman, you're pulled over for being a woman.
I mean, the thing about like the woman walking 10 feet behind you and being subservient, that's normal. But the driving thing, I mean, come on. You want them to go run errands for you. What do you mean, Mario, all the ratings just dropped? What do you mean that was ridiculously sexist? What do you mean there are women protesting outside of the studio? You want them walking 10 feet behind you and being subservient, and you want them to be able to drive so they can run errands for you. Mario Brothers, don't ever say these things. You'll lose your loved one. There's a reason I'm divorced. I say these things. All right, I'm kidding. I love the ladies. Oh boy, I'm digging a hole with a bobcat now.
I'm enjoying it.
Not even a show. You're enjoying it. I'm enjoying Corey aboard the Titanic as the ship goes down. He keeps hitting these icebergs. I love the ladies. Oh boy, what was that line from Anchorman? I love the ladies. They really rev my engines, but they should not be working in the newsroom. It's called Anchor Man, not Anchor Woman. That was a great line. And also Will Ferrell asking the sports guy when they're like apparently breaking up and the sports guy's like going back to LA. What do you plan on doing? Gonna just hang out with Robert Blake and OJ Simpson, chase a bunch of girls. They call us the Lady Killers. Ferrell's like, great name. Do y'all have jackets? You should get jackets. The Lady Killers. Wow.
I don't know. Like OJ jokes are just funny to me always.
Oh, Norm Macdonald on YouTube. I don't know if that's a little out of your,
Yeah, that Norm.
He's kind of ridiculously dry, Mario. You gotta,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's for older audiences, but you kind of get a lot of stuff. I don't know if your generation's into that.
No, that's his thing.
Slow wit of Norm Macdonald. I mean, some of the stuff he says is just totally insane. But he basically got canned from Saturday Night Live because of the excessive OJ jokes. Like Lorne Michaels was supposedly friends with OJ Simpson and was confused if he was guilty or not. And Norm Macdonald was not confused at all and was relentless.
That's lame.
Obviously, murder is legal in California. Just all kind of crazy jokes. But go to YouTube and just put Norm Macdonald in the search bar, and I promise you will laugh. Some of his jokes are just ridiculously fun. Norm Macdonald, to me, one of the funniest people in the history of comedy. One of the funniest human beings of all time. Just total dry delivery. And if you're not into the delivery, then you're not going to like it. But it is a dry delivery. It is sort of this, he's ridiculously intelligent, yet he acts sort of like aloof. It's just hysterical. It's funny as hell. And he's quick, too. That Conan O'Brien interview where he had the girl from like 90120 on, like Thorne Smith, whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. And she did a movie with Carrot Top.
Yeah.
And just the lines he came up with that, Like, what's the name of the movie? Chairman of the Board. Norm Macdonald's right away. Was board spelled Bored? Like right away. Like Conan's falling out of his chair. Courtney Thorne Smith, whatever. Like, I'm trying. This is the first movie. I'm trying to, trying to get something going, and you're just ripping it, and then ripping Carrot Top. He doesn't look so good today, Carrot Top. Wears lots of eye mascara and makeup and stuff, just normally.
He's got to be old by now.
Yeah, I think that caught up to him, the red hair and just, all that. Anyway, I'm complaining about Carrot Top. He's probably like, dude, here's my ATM receipt. Check out my balance.
He's 60 years old.
Okay, Carrot Top.
Jeez.
Wow, he is?
Yeah.
He's an old man, Mario Brothers.
I didn't think he was that old. But
yeah, exactly. Be careful, Mario Brothers.
Yeah, he's half that age, so.
Huh? You're half that age?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that guy on the other side of the glass that you look at every now and then, yeah, that dude's closer to Carrot Top's age.
Thanks for making me feel better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just fire you if you really.
Don't do that.
Yep, I'll call the bosses upstairs. They will 86 you so quick, Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers offended me. He called me old. Hey, Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets, Iberville, corner Telemachus, they're open right now. In Mid-City. You want a taste of New Orleans? Head to Katie's. Remember to support the local restaurants, be it Katie's or any of the other local restaurants. Katie's in Mid-City, New Orleans specialties, old school. I had Scott Craig on the program on Friday. What I love about Katie's, we got 15 soft shell crab. We have 13 speckled trout fillets. We got 17 flounder. When they're gone, they're gone. No, they bring in lots of fresh seafood. Katie's in Mid-City tonight for dinner. Pretty warm today. Got out to about 88, 89. Felt like low 90s. And I think that was being kind, weather.com. In the sun, it was brutal. I mean, I was letting Tolley in and out, to go to the backyard, to go to the bathroom and come back in. And he wanted in right away. And me just walking him out and, I have the side yard where I have to tell him, backyard. Otherwise, he'll do his business in the side yard, which I don't like. It's like, bomb the backyard all day long, not the side yard where I am. So I'm like, backyard. Just staying there for like 5 seconds in the direct sun today. I'm like, sheesh, got to get back in this air conditioning. And then Tolley, he's quick to get back in because he don't want to deal with the heat either. He likes the air conditioning. Smart dog. He's an Australian Shepherd. He's smart. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Crew DeVue purchased the old Frankie and Johnny furniture building on St. Claude. I think it's St. Claude at Franklin. It's like 2600 St. Claude. I think they're going to make it like a kind of a party event space for them to use, and then I think rent it out during the year. It'll be just good to get that building back into commerce, because that corridor, the last half generation or so, is kind of taken off. You know, it's definitely gentrified. I love folks that freak out about gentrification. There's definitely bad examples of gentrification. When gentrification's hitting like North Broad, South Broad, Claiborne Avenue, St. Claude, it's a good thing. It's a friggin' good thing. Outside people wanting to invest in those rundown neighborhoods that have been on a decline for like 30, 40 years. No, that
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Some people think paint is paint. Well, it ain't. Paint ain't paint. At Elm Paint, we only sell Benjamin Moore because it's the best paint on the planet. In the end, you'll save time, effort, and money because Benjamin Moore paints cover beautifully in less coats. So the next time you pick up a brush, remember, big box, big mistake. Because paint ain't paint. To get the best, you gotta go to Helm. Let us steer you right.
Helm Paint.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it. Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters' 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now. Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The vibe of the Crescent City, Corey Johnson.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, stuff.
In Metro New Orleans on 93.9 FM and 107.9 FM. Also from Baton Rouge to Pensacola, Florida on 600 AM and 1560.
Yeah, you right. Welcome back. Wide Open Wednesday edition of the program. Still a few minutes to pick up a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. All you got to do is come up with the answer to my trivia question. Hey, no internet device, no search engines. You either know the answer or you don't. And we'll know if you're cheating. Before the McHenry Trucking Road, how did 18-wheelers access the Port of New Orleans? Right now, they go in and out via Felicity Street off Tchoupitoulas, right into the port. Mark in Metairie was pretty damn close last hour when he said Napoleon Avenue, but incorrect. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The only stadium outside of North America specifically designed for NFL games. 766-9480. They're going to get an NFL team. World's first movie theater. 766-9480. Give me the answer to any of those 3 questions. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Father's Day is coming up. Dad loves a full body massage, deep tissue massage from the Woodhouse. WoodhouseSpas.com. Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Mandeville, Slidell, Baton Rouge. WoodhouseSpas.com. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Day 20, jailbreak. 2 still at large. Antoine Massey, Derek Groves, becoming household names. I think any minute, any day now, at least Antoine Massey and Groves probably right after him if I had to predict. But these guys, law enforcement on their tails, especially after Antoine Massey posted that video. They raided the house was it 12, 18, 24 hours after the video was posted? I don't know many details. There are not a lot of details coming out from, media outlets, but I'm assuming someone owns that house and was there, or they talked to the people that own the house and are there and maybe arrested some of the people, but definitely question them. Supposedly, some of the clothing Antoine Massey was wearing on the video was found at the house. So I think they are right on his tail. I think these 2 are more fortunate than crafty and smart. I think they're lucky. There's 200 plus law enforcement every day right now, day 20. Going on 3 weeks tomorrow, every day searching for these 2. An LSU study says Super Bowl 59 had a local economic impact of $1.25 billion. We're all thinking north of 700-800 million, approaching $1 billion, but blowing through that, $1.25 billion. Twice what the 2013 game delivered, and supposedly the second largest Super Bowl economic impact in history. If you were heading towards Causeway on West Esplanade, coming from Bucktown from Bonneville, right before the road kind of splits wide open by those 2 dental practices that are in the middle. You can park underneath those twin buildings, and they have a second and third floor. I think they're dentist offices that are on either side of the canal. The canal splits by them as you approach Causeway. Right before there, it's LeBar, Clifford Drive. There's a couple of U-turns going in each direction. An 18-wheeler tried to hook one of those U-turns. I guess trying to get back towards Bonneville or something. I have no idea. And You know how those 18-wheelers, those back tires will kind of pop a curb every now and then? I'm assuming it went up above that curb, and then the trailer part fell in to the canal, and it jacked the truck up in the air. The last I saw was a huge truck with a crane hooked on the back, pulling the trailer part out of the canal. That was earlier today. Probably some traffic jams around there. Sheriff Susan Hudson says $900,000 needed to fix the jail's plumbing. Now, when Susan Hudson talks, no one's listening. She is the boy who cried wolf. It's being ignored. No one's trusting her. No one thinks she knows what she's talking about. They don't know if it's real or BS. Because of that, she basically is being ignored. But from what I understand, even though this jail is supposed to be state-of-the-art and 10 years old, the plumbing supposedly is a major problem, wasn't done right. You obviously need to find out the contractor, the sub that did it, and see if you recoup or get them to fix this at no charge for free, or at the very least, never use them again in any city contracts. This is a problem in New Orleans. We bid stuff out, people win, and they do half-ass work. They do half-ass work. I brought up an example, the fence around Armstrong Park. On Rampart Street, it's first class. It's 30, 40 years old, and it's still straight and upright. It's perfect. Go around Basin Street in the back in the Treme. The wall's all caving in and falling in. Obviously, they did the front, and then they said, guys, we don't need to do as much, piling and foundation work on this other part. It'll work just fine. And when they cut the ribbon, the fence was great. And then over time, the front stayed secured because the foundation's good, and the foundation's crap on the side and the back, and the fence is collapsing. No, it's sinful behavior. More profits for the contractor, not doing the job right. Not doing it up to snuff. Same thing with the plumbing in the jail. Whoever was the sub or the contractor doing the plumbing in the jail 10 years ago did a half-ass job. So the boy who cried wolf, Susan Hudson, who you can't trust, I think a investigation and audit, they will find out that the plumbing does suck in the jail. That's what I'm hearing. That's terrible. Hey, every day this program on radio, on television, on YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. If you're looking for a commercial van, truck, or SUV, you go to Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood. You need a Mustang or an F-150 or any Ford SUV or truck, you go to Ford Big Store in Kennebra, and the number one Lincoln dealership in the state is Lamarck Lincoln. Every day, the program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Blue Boy says, hush, Corey. Tell everyone thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.